trucks making deliveries. They're certainly a familiar sight on roads across this country. And no doubt you've seen the colorful array of many different beer brands available on store shelves and in your favorite restaurants and bars. But have you ever stopped to think about how your favorite beers actually get to your local retailer, or how there are so many available choices? At the center of the beer industry are state and federally licensed independent distributors. These small businesses in communities across the country are the key to the beer success story. But why are these independent distributors so important to the beer industry? Alcohol, or as it is referred to in the United States Constitution, intoxicating liquor, is no ordinary commodity. In fact, it holds the distinction of being the only consumer good that is the subject of two constitutional amendments. The 18th Amendment enacted prohibition, and the 21st Amendment repealed prohibition, and perhaps more importantly, granted regulatory authority of alcohol to the states. Prior to prohibition, the alcohol trade was often vertically integrated. Producers of alcohol also owned or controlled the distribution and retail sale of the product. These tied houses led to irresponsible and unaccountable behavior, as tied retailers often engaged in practices that ensured they sold as much product as possible, regardless of the impact on society. America was inundated with cheap product, and unruly behavior became problematic. This led to the start of the organized temperance movement.
I solemnly promise, God helping me, to abstain from the use of all distilled, fermented, and malt liquors, and that means wine and beer.
Importantly, with so much of the retail tier of the industry being tied directly to suppliers, it was nearly impossible for new brewers to gain market access without entering into the same sort of tied house agreements. Following the repeal of prohibition, states created a three-tier distribution system which strikes a careful balance between control and access of this socially important but potentially harmful product. In this system, brewers sell the beer to distributors, and distributors market, sell, and safely deliver those beers to retailers. Independent beer distributors play a critical role in this three-tier system. In fact, without distributors, the variety and access to beer products that we have come to expect would not exist. Independent distributors are the indispensable buffer between brewers and retailers, preventing dangerous practices while delivering unprecedented consumer choice, variety, and safety. Why does the system work so well, and why is it important for distributors to be independent from the brewer and the retailer? First, independent distributors insulate retailers from abusive sales practices of absentee brewers. Independent distributors can resist the pressures of big brewers to restrict market access of small brewers. Independence ensures that a distributor is free to distribute any and all products, and to ensure all retailers get good service, fair pricing, and wide selections. Second, independent distributors are not headquartered overseas or across the country. They are rooted in cities and towns near all of us, and they have a deep history and connection to their communities, making it more likely that they will sell responsibly and obey local laws. Independent distributors safeguard the opportunity for all brewers and retailers to enjoy free access to the market in the regulated alcohol industry. The current explosion of the craft beer industry in this country is based in large part on the access to market it gets from independent beer distributors, free to handle and help build their brands, and the tremendous financial investment those distributors make. Almost every beer truck you see on the road belongs to an independent distributor. Nearly all the people you see stocking beer shelves and coolers or rolling kegs into a restaurant are employees of independent distributors. As a matter of fact, independent beer distributors directly hire more than 130,000 hard-working men and women. This is more than 3 times the number of people who brew beer for a living. The signs, banners, store displays, coasters, and other marketing materials used to build beer brands are created and provided by independent distributors, who have also built large refrigerated warehouses to store the beer and keep it fresh before delivery. We've learned a little bit about beer distributors, but how do they actually benefit and support brewers? The existence of an independent distribution tier in the beer industry means that brewers don't have to invest individually in expensive trucks and fuel or hire personnel to deliver their products and stock shelves. It means brewers don't have to build large, expensive cold storage facilities to keep their beer fresh. These things could easily put your favorite microbrewer out of business. For craft brewers in particular, independent beer distributors are indispensable in getting their smaller brands to the widest number of retail outlets in a cost-efficient manner, so their products can be price competitive and their sales can grow. This is the inherent free market competitive fairness created by the three-tier system. Laws that promote and maintain independence in the distribution tier of the industry allow for the smallest upstart suppliers to compete with the largest multinational corporations on a level playing field. If large brewers acted as beer distributors, they could substantially inhibit the ability to take on new brands and make these investments to create and expand these markets. That's why distributor independence is so important. In the 1960s, beer distributor independence was greatly challenged as brewers of all shapes and sizes sought to exert undue influence on local distributors. Distributor independence was being threatened by arbitrary terminations, unreasonable requests for distributor investment, and threats of punitive damages by suppliers wishing to have control of their distributor partners. To protect consumers and strengthen distributor independence, many states began enacting laws in the 1970s. Known as beer franchise laws, these regulations ensured, among other things, that distribution agreements between brewers and distributors could not be unfairly terminated. Beer distributor independence is essential to a free market beer distribution system. If brewers could unfairly terminate a beer distribution agreement, it would likely coerce the beer distributor into taking any number of undesirable actions, such as violating liquor laws, not carrying competing brands, or only serving select favored retail accounts. Rather than the craft beer explosion we are experiencing today, we would likely see a far more restricted and far less diverse beer market, ruled by the largest and most powerful brewers. Beer franchise laws support consumer choice, brewer access, and public safeguards. Consumers benefit because franchise laws support this independent system that generates tremendous choice in the marketplace. Brewers benefit because they gain access to equipment and to personnel who deliver and sell beer to retailers across the country. And the public benefits because franchise laws support the system that regulates and safeguards a unique product. The three-tier distribution system prevents the invasion of counterfeit or black market products from making it onto store shelves and into the hands of consumers, a problem many other established countries around the world deal with on a frequent basis. The current regulatory structure has fostered a competitive yet responsible alcohol marketplace. In recent decades, the United Kingdom has chosen to deregulate their alcohol industry, and the results have led to a public health dilemma.
The United Kingdom has been through a long period of alcohol deregulation. It started around the late 1950s, early 60s, and over 4 to 5 decades, they deregulated alcohol to the point where it can be sold virtually anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And as they deregulated, consumption increased right along with it. Today, they have underage drinking rates that are twice ours. Their hospital admissions due to alcohol have doubled in just 10 years. They're having a real problem trying to get a hold of this epidemic.
In this country, Independent distributors ensure beer safety for American consumers by buying only from properly licensed, reputable brewers. Independent distributors are also free to help small retailers by giving them the same service and terms the large retailers get. They offer instruction and education on the distributor's products for the staff who interact directly with consumers, as well as required training to those who serve alcohol. Federal and state licensed independent distributors are the key to our beer success story in the United States. But that success also rests on the continued careful regulation of alcohol and the alcohol industry. Our system has been so successful that the public and policymakers have a tendency to take it for granted and believe adjustments can be made without adverse consequences. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is important to protect and strengthen the laws that help keep distributors independent. Independence ensures fairness. Independence ensures accountability. Independence ensures healthy competition. Cheers to our successful system, and cheers to you.